What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Real Build. I'm your host, Bill Reiman, your broker builder, and today I'm joined by the man behind the camera, behind the computer, J. Jean Paul. What's going on, Jay?
What's up? Happy to be here. Finally, I've been graced with the honor to be on this podcast.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to have you, man. We're going to talk media today. You are the man behind the camera. You are the one that is running all the media side to this company, and it's been a great journey, a lot of learning with the both of us.
Yes, indeed.
Trying to get this all functioning, and we built this studio together, and it's been a good run so far, man. So before we get into it, you guys know the routine. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out past episodes all on YouTube. You can see the past full episodes. We're doing the rotation with all the team members in the company. So Jay's up today. Excited to get into it. With that being said, let's hop into The Real Build is about building better culture, leaders, visionaries, community to better serve the client. I'm your host, Bill Reiman, your broker builder, and I'm here to showcase real business owners building companies with integrity, trust, and a commitment to making a positive impact. Join us as we explore their stories, insights, and strategies for success. With that being said, welcome to The Real Build. All right, so yeah, man, let's get into, the vision, the media side of things of what we're doing at Reiman Construction. Before we get into it, just I want to have a little bit of background about you, where you started, how you got into video. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, just to reintroduce myself, my name is J. Jean Paul. It's been a wonderful journey working with Reiman. It's been a learning process, as Bill said, because I been doing music videos, weddings, different events, but never construction. So I got to see a lot of different cool sides of the building process, the inner workings of building a house and all the work that actually goes into it. Because usually when we pass by a house, we're just like, oh man, that looks cool. But we never, get to see like behind the scenes, the people who work, the work that goes into it and all that stuff. And a little bit about me, I'm like a jack of all trades. I am into music. I went to Berklee College of Music and up in Boston for sound engineering, for recording and mixing and mastering. And and as you can see, that's not what I'm doing to put money in my pocket. I'm doing camera. So it was a little side thing that I picked up after doing a couple music for a couple people, colleagues that I had at school, classmates. And I found that a lot of them, after they do their music, they're like, man, I wish I had like a videographer to film it. And since I'm usually the musician behind the music, I'm just like, oh, I have cool ideas, So I kind of pick up a camera, started shooting random stuff, and yeah, the rest is history from there. And I end up here working for Reiman.
One thing with your background, man, that I like is what you just said is you're willing to learn. You're willing, you picked up the camera, you were willing to learn. You came from a music background and a sound background, and then you got into video and figuring it out and learning. And when I first met you, when we first did the interview, I bring this up to you quite a bit, is what stood out about you is you critiqued the other videos I've done before you can, while we sat down for the interview. So that was a difference maker to me, to where you were willing, you're like, okay, this is good, but I would have done it this way, or I see where they did this, but this could have been done this way. So you had some opinions on what was already there. So that stood out, and that showed your willingness to learn too.
Yeah, by no means. Anything you hear today, do not quote me. I am not an expert or a savant, or however you say that word. But I'm a student to the game. I'm always willing to learn. Like Bill said, I always look at other music videos or other people, other directors, learning to pick up stuff. Even people who don't really know what they're doing, but I'm pretty sure they have some type of knowledge because everybody's different in the way they approach things. There's not like a set way, for you to shoot, but of course there's like a rule of thumb, but there's not a set way for you to like shoot camera or a different approach. So yeah, I'm always willing to see what else I can add to my bag to make me different, make me unique, and just grow. Because there's no fun when you're just like, you act as if like you know everything when you really don't. It's kind of ignorant. And I was talking to Bill about that before I got into the podcast. I'm just like, man, everybody who's been on here seems like, people who are with substance, people who actually been in their field for like years and been doing this for years, and they actually have valuable things to say. Not that I don't have anything valuable, but I just feel like, I don't want to be saying something and for somebody who's watching at home to be like, oh, I don't think that's what the correct way to do this. So yeah, so by no means, no expert. I am a student to the game. This is my point of view, things I have done that work for me and the way I've been, handling it.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's one thing with you too, is being the student to the game, like you said, is like, you're always willing to learn. You if I have ideas and things, you will present them to me, and then you're willing to tweak those things too, to kind of the way we can, the vision. There's that vision of where this is going, and having calls with other videographers like I've brought in too, and you talking to them about color correction and learning that. Now you're learning it and you're trying to self-teach yourself better. We bought the software, and it's giving you the tools too that you need, because I'm learning this. It's like I know the vision of where this can go with Reiman Media, and the clear cut thing is we're here to teach people what to look for when building a house or buying a house, whatever, one of the biggest investments of their lives, right? And it's like, how can we do that better? How can we come up with media that's going to showcase this in a way that's going to draw people to it, look good, but also teach them something? It's not all about just flash. It's about teaching people. And we get in compliments to you too, because I get people all the time that say, hey, I watched your video on this, and that goes a long way, because they're watching. Might not know they're watching. I'm like, maybe hit that thumbs up icon a little bit more, but they're like, no, we saw your video. And even doing the studio, you and I took a lot of time setting this up. We had calls with other people with studios to get this equipment, the cameras, you downloading tools on those cameras to make sure that they're perfect. Like, this is a nice setup. It's probably better than most in the city of Naples.
Yeah, I'm really proud. Every time when I walk in here, I'm just like, man, we actually got to do this. Like, I had my hand in it, so it's pretty cool. Just picking back off of what you said, like, I think it's really important to have like a good leader, a good boss, because I've been working for the Reimans for a year and some change, and this is the longest I have held a job and didn't feel like I'm gonna quit in the next couple months. Like, if I find something that's way better or something that's like the next thing that pops up on Indeed, I'm taking it, because I don't want to be here no more. So this is the first time I'm doing something. It's in my field and I like it and I love it, and that too is like an aspect of it, but also having a good boss willing to create the environment for you and leaving the room for you to grow. And my colleagues, the people that I work with, they're really dope people. Not too many jobs that I have, done in the past where they give you the room to actually be creative, do this and do that without micromanaging, without, breathing down your neck to be like, this. It's kind of, there's a certain like leniency, but at the same time, what you put in is what you're gonna get out. And a lot of people too, like some, I don't have to name them, but some jobs that I work for, you're just like, man, I've been working hard, but I don't see the return. Like, I don't see like where this is going. Like, your effort, you feel like it's just going in the wind. So that's something I wanted to add, because I feel like it's really need to be said. Like, people who have a job, have a business, and you're like the owner, make sure your people are good. Make sure you provide that room for your people to grow, because that's probably what's frustrating to your business, or that's probably what's killing your business, is the people who actually work for you probably don't like coming to work because the environment kind of toxic. But you know, I'm happy that I got to work for the Reimans, and I like their values. They allow me to be who I am without having to change anything, without having to be somebody different to fit into something. So that's something that works.
Oh man, we appreciate you, and I appreciate what you said right there too a lot, because you know I see the growth, and when I hire people, like I'm hiring for the future and the growth of the company. I'm not just hiring as that revolving door.
Yeah.
You know, I want people that can grow, learn, that want to learn, that are eager to level up.
Definitely.
And you and I talk about that too, is like we had that talk yesterday, just like how can you level up? Like I need to let go of certain things too, and I'm guilty of that, being a little bit controlling on the you know, because I've been doing media for so long on my own, that I'm like, now I'm getting burnt out with it, to where I'm like, Jay can handle this. And if there's stuff and bumps along the road of what you're handling,
we can figure it out.
Yeah, we figure it out and we correct it. And so that's with you, is you're always willing to take on, you know, you're like, okay, yeah, I can do it. Or if you can't, you tell me like, hey, this is going to take some time for me to do it, which I appreciate too. But there's another level to what you're doing as well. You know, there's always that growth sector of, you know, as this grows and the studio grows and we get more videographers too, you know exactly how the edit should be, you know how the color correction should be, you know how the flow of videos should be too, and it just builds, and you're the one teaching them, to where I don't have to do that anymore, you know. And that's that vision that we have as we grow the media side of things, because I've known media is so important for, I mean, I've been doing it for the last, I don't know, 6 years now. Used to do it on my cell phone. I used to have Liz follow me around. And,
I saw those videos. Atrocious.
Yeah, don't watch those past videos. But you know, we used to do the home tours, and I used to edit with iMovie. And, you know, those easy edits, and add my sound effects and stuff. And they worked back then. But now we're bringing, and I've been complimented on it too, is that higher end element to it, that better picture, better film quality, better, you know, overall production value in delivering that. So that's one thing I commend you on too, is you're always willing to level up and learn, and the future's bright. You know, that's the thing, is like we're expanding as an organization. We're in Naples. There's just so much to do as we grow in that overall vision of, you know, being a largest luxury builder throughout the state and all these bigger cities. It's like we're going to need a lot of videographers.
Yeah, that's one thing too. Like I really like about this company is just like, it's not, we say a lot, then you don't see anything, but it's like you talk about the vision and all these things that are coming, and I'm actually in it, and I get to see
you're seeing it. Right,
I'm seeing the fruits of it. Because a lot of people, when you work for them, is just like, yeah, you're gonna get that promotion. You know, years from now or months from now, you're gonna be a manager, and you've just been working for like 6 years, and you're just like, where's the management? But at least here, you know, from when I started and what you said, like more and more as I come to work and as I stick with you guys, like I can see those things actually, you know, coming to fruition. It's not just like a boss that just points and says, yeah, do this, do that, and this is where we're gonna end up. But you actually go out and do the things, and you go out and make it happen. So we get to see like the work ethic. It's not just talking, but you actually do it in front of us, and which kind of inspires me. I don't know about other people. I'm just like, man, and if he's putting that much work, then I should put a little bit more too in my craft and make sure that it's up to par. Because it's one thing if you keep, you know, when you present yourself to people and you're just like, man, this is what I'm about. But when they see your work, and it's just like, it doesn't match. And that's the same thing for media too. Like, how are people going to know about you if you don't, you know, put it out there and say like, yo, this is what I'm about. This is what I have done. I'm a luxury, you know, builder, but where's the luxury? Like, where's the videos that shows that? Where's the portfolio, you know, that shows that? So videography or just media is really important. like you were saying, because in this day and age, like everybody has a phone,
Hmm.
everybody's on social media, everybody sees everything. So back then, we used to post things either on a post or out on the streets, or you see it somewhere on a billboard. But now, it's just like everybody has their head down. So you got to be able to put it out there. It also builds trust too with our clients when they get to see like their house being built like from the ground up, instead of like a finished product, and they just see like the ins and outs. Like, okay, that's cool. But it's kind of like a different intimate feeling when you see like where it started, when there was nothing at all. Then as it goes, you see like there's, the slab pouring, then the drywall, then the electricity and the plumbing and everything. You're just like, okay, I can see where this is going. And when you see the finishing touch, you're just like, that's not where we started. So it's kind of like a cool thing to experience.
Well, you and I talked about too is like you getting into the construction world now and being able to see each process, and that's helped you tremendously with like, okay, what can I capture? What should I, if I'm not available or somebody else isn't, you can go out and you can capture something too and create, a badass video that, will catch a lot of eyeballs of the concrete work, or, just guys working in general. Like, a lot of people, yeah, they want to see the end product, the flash, the multi-million-dollar ending, right? But there's a lot of other people that want to see like how these things are built, man.
Yeah.
And we've been running a series too on one of our big jobs where it's been like almost weekly. We're going out in the hot sun to film once a week to really cover each and every step of this build. And there's been people watching that look forward to those videos too. And there's probably a lot of others out there that I don't know that are watching, because they're like, because we build so differently down here too. These are fortresses.
Yeah, definitely. Some of the houses that I've seen, I'm just like, dang. Like when it first started, you would never thought like this what it was gonna turn into. Like some of the houses that I got to film when I first got there, when I saw it, I'm just like, all right, I can kind of like envision or imagine what it's gonna turn out, but it's usually always on the left side. Like it's nothing what I have, pictured in my mind. So it's really cool to be part of that process.
Well, the vision, like I always talk about too, is you getting in there, the team getting in there, the people in the organization getting into these houses. They're eventually going to have one themselves.
Yeah.
I'm big on the law of attraction, God, the presence, being there, being touch, feel, all that kind of stuff. If you're there, it's going to happen to you, right?
Yeah.
So that's a big thing with us as well. And, as far as filming in the media side of things too, and the importance of it, there's a lot of builders that don't do this. And the reason I brought you in full time, because I used other media guys before and they weren't full time.
Yeah.
And they're good, they were great, and not like they're very skilled, high skilled, but the problem I was having was stuff is happening with construction with these houses we're building all the time. And I couldn't just call these guys up and be like, hey, come here today, because they're busy. They film other stuff, and it was, and they're editing, or they have lives, families, stuff like that, to where we really needed somebody here full time that could dive in and be like, hey, there's a concrete pour going today, or they're doing drywall here, or the stucco guys are here, they're framing over here, and bring these things to life. So that's when you came in and I did the ad for it, and you were literally hired you quick when you first came in, and you've taken it and ran with it because you are learning those processes too. There's still a lot to learn.
A lot.
Yeah. I mean, it never ends in this business. I'm still learning. I've been in it my whole life. My sister's still learning. Shout out to her running the switchboard back there for Jay today. But yeah, man, it's like we're learning this, like bringing this live studio to life too. And going back to what, you saying, I do what I say I'm going to do. This is a prime example of it. Like, had this vision, bringing this to life. We did it. Yeah, it took a little longer than expected because we were waiting on the desk and the shelves, because we wanted it perfect, and then the wallpaper, and all that kind of stuff too. So, but it turned out awesome. And everybody that's come in here so far is like, holy crap, man, like this is legit. Like
Yeah.
we've been in studios, but we've never seen anything like this. So it's like, these are the things we're doing as an organization, as a company, to continue to level up. And I feel like if I'm not doing these things too, and like actually walking the walk, you
Yeah.
know, because everybody talks the talk, they don't walk the walk. And if I'm not doing that, like, you know, then why would you guys stick around? You know, there's
Yeah.
better opportunity. Why would you, you know, it's exactly what you said. Like I can go somewhere else or look at another Indeed ad and you're in the same
Yeah,
circle, you
man.
know.
Being optimistic and being grounded, like with faith in God, is really important. And that's one of the other things too that really kept me here because, other people that I've worked for, it's just God is like so far away from their mouth, or they don't have anything like that, and there's always so negative. If they didn't make the quota for the day, it's just like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. But I can't really mention or point out a time working for you where you were just like so negative about the outcome of something. But usually we have a team meeting. We're just like, all right, guys, we're not where we need to be, but we can get there though. We can get
Mm-hmm.
there if you do what you need to do. If you do this, if you do that, if you do your part, then everything else will work fine. It's never like, you belittling somebody or saying, hey, Jay, you didn't film this week, da 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 da. And it's just like, man, I don't want to work for this guy anymore. He's such a douchebag. But, it's always like you're very optimistic and you kind of like breathe life into everybody, the people that, work for you. I'm, don't want to say a victim, but, I'm a product of that, whenever things are not going well, but you kind of like sit me down and you're just like, yeah, man, we're not where we need to be, but if you do this, what else do you need for you to get to where you need to be? Like, what are the tools that I can provide you with so you can get there? So it's really being optimistic and having faith is really important, and that growth, the vision that you
Mm-hmm.
talk about, when that is absent, people just like tends to look the other way, or they're kind of complacent. It's just like, they're stagnant. They just, they're not moving, they're not growing, they're not elevating. So the company itself too, the values, the standards kind of goes down if, the boss or the person leading is not doing his job. And another thing that I really like too is it's not like you're in front and we follow you, but you create this environment where each and one of us get to be the leader of our own section. At the end of the day, it complements you and what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing, but you kind of create that space where, I know I'm in charge of the media side. I don't need people. I don't need somebody to tell me like, oh, Jay, go film this, or Jay, you should be doing this. But, there's a few times where I slip up, or, I was kind of like falling behind, but, like I said, you were very optimistic and positive. I'm just like, man, I don't want to disappoint this guy. I got to do better so he doesn't have to talk to me about the same thing twice.
Well, it's taking ownership too, man. Like you and I had to talk. I'll refer to the talk yesterday too. Is like I take ownership for the lack of giving you some guidance on, because this all is new to me too. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn it. I'm asking other, contractors and other people that have videographers too, or talking to their videographers and what the standard should be, because it was new to us both. And me saying yesterday too, like, yeah, it's my fault too. It's not just that we're here. It's me as well. Like, I'm not being like, oh, you're not doing anything, this and
Yeah.
that. It's my fault because like I didn't give you that structure because I'm trying to learn that structure. And so as this thing builds too, like we're figuring out structure, a path for you where, you can take on more. You can edit the podcast, and he'll be editing this one too. And you can do those things that I was staying up late doing,
Yeah.
and Liz is looking at me on the couch, and I'm sitting on my laptop editing, all night long. It's like, I'll still do some of that, but it's like relieving and letting go and being like, Jay knows what he's doing. I trust Jay to do it. Jay needs to do this to grow too and get better at his craft. So here, take it on. You take on the social media side. You take on this, and just taking ownership, man. That's the thing. And I think
Yeah.
continues to push you, because if I just let you do what you're doing and keep down that same road, where's the growth, you know?
Yeah.
And instead of having those conversations with you of being like, hey, this is what I need from you, this is what I think we should do moving forward on the media side. I want you to come up with concepts, a calendar to where, you know, we film twice a month or whatever. We'll take a whole day to do it. And we just blast out content, then you edit it. You know, it's just coming up with ideas and structure and stuff as we're building this thing. And we're going to look back on this and 5 years from now and be like, whoa, we came a long way. So
yeah, it really does feel like a partnership. It's not just like, all right, this is what I need from you, this is what I need you to do, and it's just like go out and do it. But it's like, okay, this is what I was thinking, and this is what I think you should do. But what do you think? You know, how can we approach it and stuff like that? So I always feel like, you know, my opinion or my viewpoints are heard, because he always like creates the environment again to work or, you know, provide guidance if need be, or just to be like, all right, do you have anything you were thinking about, or do you have a different way? Do you think this could work, or do you think my idea is good? What do you think? So it really helps. It builds confidence, it builds trust. You know, when you look up to someone and they're allowing that space for you to have your own input too. So you just feel like, oh, I'm actually helping this, you know, to get to the next level.
So before we wrap this up, I wanted to ask you this question. Where do you see the media side of things going? What are the plans here coming up? What are some of your visions for it that you see, some of the creative side? Where are we going with it?
Man, I mean, I'm gonna say the big dream, and I think we can make like Hollywood, you know, type things here, like cinema. I mean, that's what I'm aiming for, especially with this like color grading. And like I said, I'm a student to the game. A lot of people thank you for your compliments and stuff, but I still feel like we have a long way to go. And I feel like from maybe like 2 years from now or 1 year, I don't want to give myself all that time, but I feel like in a couple months or 1 year from now, the style, the way we do things, like people are gonna hear about us. People are gonna hear about us, because like I said, everybody has a phone, everybody's on social media, and the way we kind of build is different. The way we do things are standard. The way we carry ourselves. We have a great crew. I have great colleagues that care about what they're doing, and I always hear good things. And even people we didn't even build a house for, they're just like, man, you work for the Reimans? Like, I've seen the house like they did, you know, down the line. Like, that's something, man. You know, stuff like that kind of gets you going. So since we already have the house aspect, you know, I would say the reality of it, if we can translate that into like the media side, like everything you're watching is just like a movie. Just like when you have your favorite show, you're just like, man, I wonder what they'll come out next. I wonder what the next season is going to be like. So I want to create that kind of feeling for the media side, where it's not just journalism. You're just watching, just like, yeah, this house was built from the ground up because this is the kind of sand that we use. This is the kind of vendors that we use. But, you know, that's kind of boring. But you want to make it like exciting, because more and more, like the way with technology, the way it's moving, like people are just like, their attention span is getting smaller and they want to see different things. If you're not able to retain their attention for like the first 7 seconds, they're just like scroll by.
I love that, man. And I'm going to definitely hold you to that goal, and I like how you said one thing I like too right there was you go, you know, I'm not even going to say 2 years. I'm going to make it a year or a couple of months, because I think it needs to happen faster. I'm big on that. Because I see that in the future too. I mean, more of a cinema type deal, to where people want to tune in to what we're doing too, with the media channels and all that kind of stuff too. It's coming fast. So Jay, this was awesome, man. Jay will be back on the rotation. Jenna, shout out to Jenna over there for filling in on the switchboard. But everybody listening, take the time to like, share, comment, subscribe, share this one, friends and family. It goes a long way. watch this episode, rewatch it on YouTube because we are live right now, so you can rewatch the full on YouTube, Facebook, wherever this thing is launched out, LinkedIn, and follow the journey. You guys are seeing some of the beginning stages of the journey here, especially with the media side. So
yeah, I can't wait, and thanks for having me. Hopefully, when I come back on, I'll be better. I was a little nervous.
No, you weren't nervous. No, it's exciting, man. The future is definitely bright. We got a lot coming up. We got a lot of great houses coming up too, and I'm excited to showcase those.
Looking forward to it.
So, all right, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
The Real Build is about building better culture, leaders, visionaries, community to better serve the client. I'm your host, Bill Reiman, your broker builder, and I'm here to showcase real business owners building companies with integrity, trust, and a commitment to making a positive impact. Join us as we explore their stories, insights, and strategies for success. With that being said, welcome to The Real Build.